These are the 6 powerful clans in Jujutsu Kaisen. What if I told you there's a character that is descended from 2 of these great clans, who could potentially be even stronger than Gojo Satoru? And that's not all. The King of Curses himself may have actually come from one of these clans, and their curse technique even has the power to destroy Sukuna. And that is the Abe clan. This clan from the Heian era attempted to outclass the King of Curses himself, Sukuna, with the command of their army, the Deshi Pacification Squad. This elite force were mostly remnants of the Sugawara clan, of the vengeful spirit Michizane Sugawara. By the way, in case you didn't know, Michizane Sugawara is one of the 3 vengeful spirits. These vengeful spirits are the ancestors of the big 3 families. As a result, these clans are highly regarded and admired because they inherited the vengeful spirit's powerful curse techniques. That is why these sorcerer families are the highest profiled in the Jujutsu world. And would you believe that aside from these remnants of Sugawara, there's a powerful clan directly related to him? I'll explain who it is soon in the video. Of course, Sukuna in his rampage destroyed the whole elite force with his broken tools, Kamitoke and Hiiten. One distinct member of this force that Sukuna trashed was the Angel. We saw the incarnated Angel in Hana Kurusu's body during the culling games that Kenjaku started, and Hana actually participated in these games to hunt down and kill Sukuna, whom she called Disgraced One, in order to probably get revenge for this atrocity. According to a fan theory, it is possible that Ryomen Sukuna actually came from the Abe clan. Speaking of the Disgraced One, for Sukuna to have this title, he must have done something that defies the laws of God, or basically disobedience to a divine being in some way. And we've seen that the angel of the Abe clan possessed powers that kind of belong to a clan blessed with divine powers, like the extension of Angel's innate technique, Jacob's ladder. And like what I've said earlier, with this technique, Sukuna could potentially be defeated. This insanely powerful curse technique negates all other curse techniques. It even has the power of destroying the prison realm, a curse tool that could literally seal anything and everything. Sukuna may not be directly born in the Abe clan. He may have been adopted or married to someone from the clan, but these things are still a mystery, because the King of Curses himself doesn't even know how he got that strong, or how he achieved to be the man he is now. The only thing we know for sure is that he did annihilate this powerful clan and its elite force. But the Abes weren't the only clan Sukuna had wiped out. The Fujiwara clan were also on the receiving end of Sukuna's berserk. This clan was a well-known sorcerer family, even during the golden age of Jujutsu. They were even considered as a rival clan of the Sugawara clan, of one of the 3 powerful, vengeful spirits. The Fujiwara clan was so mysterious that the only known details about them were the sorcerer assassin squads they commanded. And what exactly are these squads of the Fujiwara clan? The first one is the Sun, Moon, and Stars Assassin Squad. This is an elite squad of sorcerer assassins directly serving the family. These cold-blooded sorcerers live a life in total darkness, without any regard for their own being. So much so that they don't even have a name for themselves to begin with. There was actually a member of the squad who was given a name by the Fujiwara clan, and this assassin sorcerer was reincarnated during the culling games. And that's Takako Uro. This shoddy was a former captain of the Sun, Moon, and Star Squad. But here's the crazy thing, she was actually given a name so that she could take all the blame and be executed for the crimes committed by a member of the Fujiwara clan. Like what? This family be messed up, man. Takara Uro uses a technique that allows her to control the sky and basically be a part of space and dimension itself. She even fashions the use of sky as her clothing. Even though she was ultimately defeated by Yuta, her crazy display of techniques showed the capabilities of a sorcerer assassin of the Sun, Moon, and Star Squad. And the second assassin squad was named the 5 Empty Generals. On the other hand, the strength of these sorcerers was said to be comparable to the Sun, Moon, and Star Squad, even though it wasn't fully disclosed. The only time the 5 Empty Generals were mentioned was when Yorozu defeated these guys using her greatest power, her insect armor form. But in chapter 238, just like the Abe squad, it was revealed that Sukuna annihilated the Sun, Moon, Star Squad and the 5 Empty Generals of the Fujiwara clan with his Kamutoke and Hiiten. Could the outcome of these battles against Sukuna be different if these clans possessed a more powerful curse technique? Say for example, having the Inumaki clan's signature cursed speech, which allows the user to control anyone forcefully that hears the user's command to obey the user. yo, I think my mom has this power. Now, did you know this crazy fact? That the Inumaki clan are considered outlaws in the Jujutsu society? Why? Literally because of this exact technique. Apparently, it's too broken. There is even a policy to wipe out sorcerers from their families because of this overpowered curse technique. That is why we have only seen one bearer and user of this technique, Toge Inumaki. I mean, Yuta as well, yeah, but you know, he don't count. Like, that ninja be cheating. He's just like the Kakashi of JJK, just copying left, right, and center. I don't even know what Yuta did at school. The guy just probably aced all his exams, just copying everybody. Now, the technique is overpowered, but it doesn't come without its drawbacks. You could literally give any command with the cursed speech, but overusing the technique puts a huge toll on the body. Also, the stronger the command given, the worse the side effects on the user. The side effects may be as simple as a sore throat or coughing up blood, which can be cured with simple medicines, which is why Toge always brings cough medicine with him. Okay, finally understand why. But in the extreme cases, it could be a total loss of voice, which would lead to not being able to use the curse technique itself. Though the Inumaki clan isn't top tier, like the big three families, it's safe to say they are well respected for their power and feared enough due to their curse technique to be able to grab the 4th place ranking. But did you know that the Kamo, Zenin, and Gojo clans are actually based on gods? Or should I say, vengeful spirits? Their power is so intense it still haunts Japan to this day. These clans have been around for like thousands of years, and I mean way back in the golden age of sorcery, aka the Heian era. Plus, these clans have some crazy skills when it comes to weapons, martial arts, and especially curse techniques. Take the Kamo clan for example. They're known for their blood manipulation technique, which lets sorcerers control and shape their own blood for all kinds of deadly attacks. Like they can harden or shape external blood to throw out long-range attacks, like piercing blood. This attack is so powerful it can easily pierce through human bodies and even thick walls. Now, did you know that every blood manipulation user's blood is actually straight up poison for cursed spirits? Man, this technique sounds OP, right? But it's got some major weaknesses. Weakness number 1 is water. Yep, water messes up their game, stopping sorcerers from controlling blood outside their bodies. Weakness number 2, limited blood supply. Sorcerers using this technique like Kamo have limited blood. If they lose too much, it's game over. But not for Chozo because Aniki ain't running out of blood since he's like half cursed, you know? Half human, half cursed. So sorcerers like Kamo usually carry extra blood bags or use weapons dipped in blood, which is kind of disgusting yet dangerously powerful. Aside from their curse technique, one reason they're in the top 3 isn't about physical strength. It's because most of them are part of the conservative faction. Since the higher-ups in Jujutsu Kaisen are mostly conservative sorcerers, they have the power to make and enforce decisions, resist changes, and maintain traditional practices. For example, they're all about old-school techniques, like Nobata's straw doll, over the techie stuff like Hakari's idle death gamble. What's worse, they even try to secretly kill Yuji for being Sukuna's vessel. Despite their position, the Kamo clan has a major stain in their family history that they cannot erase, and that's Noritoshi Kamo, the most evil sorcerer ever. You know, we get it, he's like the Voldemort of Jujutsu Kaisen, but with a nose. So now here's why Noritoshi Kamo is evil reincarnate. Way back in the Meiji era, Noritoshi was running a temple when a woman who could give birth to human spirit hybrids showed up. History says Noritoshi, being all curious and skibbity, took her prisoner and did all kinds of messed up experiments on her. This led to 9 pregnancies and abortions, which created the cursed womb death paintings. Now, some details are still a mystery, but at that point in time in the Meiji era, Noritoshi's body and identity had already been taken over by Kanjaku. And so using Noritoshi's form, Kanjaku really did all those shady sort of things. Chozo also mentioned that Noritoshi even mixed his own blood with some of the cursed wombs, which is why Chozo can use blood manipulation. And look, here's the craziest part. There are actually 2 Noritoshi Kamos, the evil one and the teenager named after him. Their names might sound the same, but when written in kanji, they're different. But why would Noritoshi Kamo's parents name their kid after the most evil Jujutsu sorcerer ever? Isn't that kind of ironically messed up? Some fans think Kamo's parents wanted him to clean the name by being a better Noritoshi Kamo, and our good boy Kamo was actually the heir to their clan. But there's a problem. After the Shibuya incident, Kanjaku took over the Kamo clan by secretly killing Noritoshi's dad and manipulating the clan. Now remember what I told you about the vengeful spirit? There's an interesting theory that the Kamo clan might have descended from Emperor Sotoku. By the 12th century, the Heian government in Kyoto was falling apart. In 1156, a fierce battle called the Hogen no Ran broke out between Emperor Go Shirakawa and his retired brother Sotoku. In the end, Sotoku lost and was exiled to Sanuki, now Kagawa Prefecture, on Shikoku Island, where he later became a monk. It's said he wrote manuscripts in his own blood, which could be the origin of Kamo's blood manipulation techniques. Because of these rumors, the court totally ignored his work, and he was mad about it. Here's where it gets crazy. After Satoku's death, people reported seeing blood pouring out of his coffin. Years later, a series of disasters, deaths, and civil strife weakened the capital. Eventually, he was enshrined and is now considered a god. People say his curse still haunts Japan. And just like the Kamo clan, the Zenin clan is also connected to a vengeful spirit. Theories suggest that they might have descended from Taira no Masakado, especially his daughter, Takayasha the witch, because this girl used scrolls, a sword, and even had an army, a toad army, which is kind of like Maki, who's a curse tool pro, and Megumi, who uses a toad Shikigami. So the Zenin clan is one of the top 3 because they're all about combat and only respect raw power. Think of them like the Spartans of Jujutsu Kaisen. The clan values sorcery talent, so much so, the family members will even hurt each other physically if someone isn't good enough. Their mindset is kind of old school and self-righteous, but when it comes to fighting, these guys are strong, especially with crazy curse techniques. The first one is projection sorcery. One of its known users was the former 26th head of the Zenin clan, Naobito Zenin, and his son, Naoya. This technique lets the sorcerer move in 24 frames per second, making the user look super fast, even too quick for special grade curse spirits. When active, anything the user touches has to move at 24 FPS. If not, the target gets frozen for a second, leaving it wide open for attacks. Hitting the frozen target breaks the freeze, but usually injures it as well. Now, this technique has some risks. Once a movement starts, it can't change. Ignoring physics too much will freeze the user. There's also a speed limit, but keeping the technique active can build speed over time. Another curse technique inherited in the Zenin clan is the 10 Shadows technique, which allows the user to summon 10 powerful Shikigami, one of which can even rival the 6 eyes. And I've explained this in another video. Aside from their broken curse techniques, the Zenin clan has some powerful curse tools. One of them is a special great curse tool called Playful Cloud. It boosts the user's strength with its cursed energy, letting even those with little to no cursed energy overpower special great curse spirits. The Zenin clan also has 3 interesting units. First up is the Hei. This group is made up of the clan's top sorcerers, all ranked semi-grade 1 and higher. They were the strongest Jujutsu users in the Zenin clan. The Hei was actually led by this jerk, Naoya Zenin. Jerk because, this guy treated Maki and Mai like dirt. He even tried to kill Megumi as well. Other members include Ogi Zenin, the brother of Naobito Zenin and the father of Maki and Mai. Now he was definitely an a-hole, right bro? But he was still a strong swordsman. At first he managed to beat the crap out of Maki, but a few moments later Maki clapped back and made her dad disappear, Thanos style. Then there is Jinichi Zenin. Jinichi had a powerful technique that created giant fists powered by cursed energy. These fists followed his punches and could easily destroy buildings. But when he used it against Maki, it didn't work on her. Not even a scratch. Same thing with Chojuro. When he fought Maki, he can manipulate the earth by touching the ground and created 2 giant stone arms to trap Maki. Maki broke free easily and killed him. The youngest member of the Hei is Ranta Zenin. His curse technique could paralyze anyone he looked at by creating a big pair of magic eyes. But when he used this technique, it messed up his real eyes. When he tried to paralyze Maki, she broke free and his eyes started bleeding like crazy. The strain was so bad, it ended up killing him. The other unit is the Kukuru unit. This unit is the lower branch of the Hei, led by their captain, Nobuaki Zenin. The Kukuru unit is mostly made up of Zenin guys who don't have any curse techniques. If someone in the clan meets their requirements, they have to join and go through intense martial arts training all the time. And I mean every day and every night. So the real question is, when did this lead? Like, this is cap. Then there's the Akashi unit. Unlike the Kukuru unit, these guys have curse techniques, but they're not good enough to join the Hei. Did you know that Maki was part of the Kukuru unit? That was until Ogi tried to kill his own daughters. The death of Maki's sister triggered her inner Itachi, and then, she wiped them all out. Gege also pointed out something crazy about the Zenin clan and heavenly restrictions. In Jump Giga, fans asked Gege, are heavenly restrictions a special feature of the Zenin family, or is it just a coincidence that both are in the Zenin family? Gege answered, it's just a coincidence, though it's possible that it's inherited. Sounds like Gege doesn't even know the answer. So in case you don't know what a heavenly restriction is, it boosts one ability, but weakens another. And there are different cases of it. Case number 1 is seen with Toji and Maki Zenin. If a sorcerer is born with low curse energy, they might achieve insane strength. Case number 2 is the opposite. If someone has a weak body, they gain a huge amount of curse energy, but with physical limitations. Our only example of this is Kokuchi Muta aka Mekamaru. Another interesting thing about the big 3 clans is they don't get along, especially the Gojo and Zenin clan. The former leaders of these 2 clans even tried to kill each other in the past. The former head of the Zenin clan was a 10 Shadows user, while the Gojo clan is known for the 6 Eyes. Actually, the head of the Gojo clan always has the 6 Eyes. Gege explained that the Gojo clan chooses anyone born with the 6 Eyes and the Limitless Curse technique to be the leader and head of the family. Since the Limitless and the 6 Eyes were insanely powerful techniques, Gojo was literally a one-man army, making it seem like other members of his family didn't even exist. Plus, it was mentioned that the Gojo clan's ancestor was Michizane Sugawara, for who it's possible also had the Limitless and the 6 Eyes. To help you understand, I'll explain Michizane's history and how it connects to the 6 Eyes and the Limitless technique. According to our boy Panda, Michizane was a big shot, Jujutsu sorcerer during the golden age of Jujutsu. Sorcerers and cursed spirits were far stronger back then, which means Michizane was unimaginably powerful. And did you know that Michizane actually existed? Like, as a side note, I mean in real life this guy existed. Like, the bro is legit a real person in history. This ties back to what I mentioned earlier. The 3 clans come from a vengeful spirit, including Michizane Sugawara. Michizane's transformation into a vengeful spirit connects to Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'll show you how and where the concept of Jujutsu Kaisen actually comes from in real life. He was born in 845 AD. Much like Satoru and Okotsu, Michizane was a prodigy, a total genius. He got famous as a poet and scholar and was also a big deal in the emperor's court. Emperor Uda of Japan admired him and quickly gave Michizane important jobs, including making him ambassador to China. But due to envy, higher-ups spread rumors and falsely accused Michizane of treason. When Emperor Uda retired, his son took over and was more than happy to kick Michizane out of the capital. Michizane was exiled, stripped of his power, left poor and heartbroken, and he died alone. After his death though, strange things began to happen. For example, one of Michizane's accusers was struck by lightning and died, and another suddenly got sick and also passed away. The politician who took Michizane's place died after falling into a swamp, and the emperor who banished him lost both his son and grandson. People believed Michizane's curse caused all the chaos. To lift Michizane's curse, shrines were built to honor him. Today, he's considered a god of scholarship and art. Since the real Michizane turned into a vengeful spirit, it ties into Jujutsu Kaisen, where humans can become curses for different reasons, like not being killed with cursed energy. Michizane wasn't killed with cursed energy, so he came back as a vengeful spirit, causing natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, and especially lightning strikes. This power to create lightning led to theories that the Michizane in the manga also mastered the Limitless Curse technique. This makes sense since Hollow Purple has some lightning effects maybe. If this theory is right, it's also possible that Michizane had the 6 Eyes because according to Gege, you need the 6 Eyes to use Limitless. It was also revealed in JJK 0 that besides the Gojo clan, Yuta's family is Michizane's descendants. This explains why Gojo and Yuta have almost unlimited cursed energy, since their ancestor is one of the strongest sorcerers of all time. But could you predict that Yuta might be way stronger than Gojo? In chapter 261, it was revealed that Yuta might be a descendant of both Fujiwara and Sugawara. The problem is, how could that happen, since these 2 clans are on bad terms? In theory, there's a chance that members of both clans fell in love, like a Romeo and Juliet situation. Except they ended up together and had a bunch of kids. That's why Gojo mentioned Yuta might be more blessed than he is, and it'd be lame if Yuta didn't take advantage of it. Actually, Yuta did take advantage of it. He copied Kenjaku's body hopping technique and took over Gojo's body, which is probably one of the ways to finally defeat Sukuna.